So yes, there probably is screaming in hell, but let me put it this way. Probably the two thoughts that go through a sinner's mind in hell are this. Number one, I hate God, just like the ones who are on earth. I hate God, and the second one, I hate myself. Forever and ever and ever, as they walk further away. I hate what I did to myself, and I hate God. I hate God, I hate you, God, I hate you, God. See, there would be one consolation to the sinner in hell if they could say, I hate God, and you know what? God also hates me. That would be a consolation to you, because at least you hate the person who hates you. Do you know there's no rest for the sinner in hell because they hate God and God still loves them. There's no rest for you. That's also why you hate yourself in hell. There's still love that is extended to you, and yet you won't take it because you've become addicted to your sin. See, C.S. Lewis said that hell is a door that's locked from the inside. I agree. Just because no one gets out of hell doesn't mean they don't want to be there. The door it can be unlocked, but no one will engage in unlocking it because they're so consumed by their sin. And that probably is the most terrifying part about it, is that you could get out, but you won't. And there, it doesn't impugn the love of God. God is not impugned. God is not, we have not attacked the character of God. Even the Psalms say, if I make my bed in hell, in the realm of the dead, you're there. If I'm in heaven, you're there. If I'm in hell, you're there. Imagine an infinite love that's still extended to you, and you still are stiffening your neck, and you're going through all this pain for eternity. So, although it's a good rhetorical device, it cheapens the character of God, and therefore it needs to be thrown out. Also, it's not in the Bible, therefore it needs to be thrown out. Also, it doesn't make a lot of logical sense, and therefore it needs to be thrown out. Yes, I believe there's a place called hell. Yes, I believe there's a place called heaven. But to think of them in such simplistic terms makes it very difficult to articulate this to people who are actually going to call you out on things. Now, that does not fundamentally prove one of those three theories that we went through. That does not prove eternal conscious torment or annihilationism or even universalism. You could still be any of those three people and still believe what I just laid out there about how heaven and hell work. And you could just think that eternally those people walk away. Now, annihilationists, and this is probably more of the camp that I find myself in, would say, as you walk away from God, who is the life giver, each day you lose more of yourself, right? God has actualized things in your life and you lose those things. So God has given you dreams, visions, goals, things that make you unique, make you you. And as you walk towards God, He actualizes them and you become more of who you were meant to be. As you walk away from God, you lose those things. You lose your dreams, your visions, and goals. Just like a drug addict who's addicted to their drug, they start to lose their personality until at the end of it, right, they don't have dreams or visions and goals. They aren't thinking beyond the drug that they're taking and how to get more of it, right? They've become consumed by it, just like Gollum from Lord of the Rings, who has become completely consumed by the One Ring, the precious, right? He is no longer an individual. He is completely an addiction. He is a representative of an addiction. So as you walk away from God, you lose all these things until you just become the sin, basically. You just become what your addiction is. And as you get further and further away, you continuously lose parts of yourself until you just kind of walk off into an ethereal plane of nothingness, and you just kind of become so much not anything. You lose so much of yourself, you just become nothing, really. And that would be a form of annihilationism. You could hold to that as well. Or you could believe at the end of the day that God is going to take all those people and turn them around and reconcile them through their choices, right? I have a friend who is a universalist. Again, I'm not making a definitive statement on any of those three things. That's a different discussion for a different time. I'm saying, even if you hold to any of those three views, you could still hold to that version of heaven and hell. And it still makes sense why there aren't sinners in hell crying out, God, would you please forgive me now?